Welcome to Organizing and Managing Your Files with Adobe Bridge. As you can see, I'm in Photoshop, but I'm selecting File, Browse, and Bridge, which you can do from Illustrator, InDesign, and many other Adobe applications. When you select File, Browse, and Bridge, if you have Bridge loaded, it will appear immediately. If you've downloaded the Creative Cloud, that application may appear first, and then Bridge will automatically start downloading. Or worst case scenario, you'll see a button that says download and you can manually install Bridge. Now I'm going out to the desktop and going into my lesson files and opening up the organizing files with Bridge folder. In here you'll see that immediately thumbnails are created of my files. Down in the lower left, it's indicating that it's building criteria. That is because this is the first time on this machine that I have opened these files in Bridge. And when you start opening your files, you may need some time for it to build the criteria as well. Once you've done that, the image files have been cached and it won't take so long the next time. In fact, that cache, depending upon how many images you have, could become a rather hefty file size. So if you wanted to, you could go under the preferences for Adobe Bridge and you can choose cache, and you can tell it to automatically export the cache to folders when possible to keep it there, or you can compact it, or you can just purge it, which sounds like an awful thing, but that means just clearing it all out, and then you have to build the criteria again. But that's very helpful if you're a company like a real estate firm, which constantly has new images coming in and out and new data. That is going to change, and having a cache won't help. So I'm going to cancel that. So the biggest benefit right off the bat is that you're seeing thumbnails of your images. You're not just seeing the names. You can easily find what you want. You can even click on these images and you have a preview over to the right that not only shows you the image, but you can also check out other information such as keywords or metadata, including built-in metadata that comes directly from the camera, such as when it was shot and the size, whether the flash went off, and more. So you see that in here you have EXIF information that gives you a lot of information about this file. Most importantly though, you're seeing if it's in RGB, you're seeing the size. So if you have multiple images, it makes it easy for you to select and open the file that you actually need. Now the biggest misconception that people have when they're using Bridge is that it somehow changes their system. What you're seeing over here on the left under favorites and folders is exactly what you would see in your operating system. This is just your file directory system in a much more organized manner so that I can easily go from one folder to another in here without having to navigate and use the Finder or Explorer. You also see that it makes it easy for me to find the files because I can go down in the lower right and I can increase the size of these thumbnails. I can even go further right and click to lock these items in a thumbnail grid, or I can go back to that current grid look. I can also see images with their details, and then I can just see the details only with a small thumbnail. So again, making it really easy to find the files I need when I want them, saving me a lot of time. Now we're going to go through in the rest of these videos and show you how to take advantage of these things. I do want to show you some other items that are going to help make it easier for you to find your files before we move on. Like for instance, you can see you have breadcrumbs at the top. And if I go across here, I can of course see where I'm navigating so that I can quickly and easily get out. You also see that you have a go back button that remembers where you were. Not back in the hierarchy of these folders, but into the folder that I was last in. So for instance, if I go into the color correcting folder and then hit the back button, I go right back to 3. I don't go back into my lessons file, and then I don't have to go back and click on lesson 3 again. It remembered that was the last file that I was in. You'll also notice that I can go back and get recent files by clicking on this icon up here that looks like a little clock. A boomerang to return to Photoshop quickly, and then one of my favorites is get photos from camera so that I can quickly pull in files from my camera. You also have a great little review mode that allows you to quickly navigate through your images as well. Now I'm hitting the ESC key in the upper left of my keyboard to go back to Bridge. One more thing before we're done with this introduction and kind of getting you used to how this works is that there are different types of workspaces in here, just like there are in most of your Adobe applications. I'm in the Essentials mode, but I can also switch to the Film Strip mode or just the Metadata mode because metadata might be really important to me and I might want to sort by size or type or even rating. I also have a keyword workspace where I can go in and see keywords. You'll see that it's associated with the filter that's over here to the left so that I can also look for keywords this way using the filter as well. Under Window Workspace, you'll also see that you have the ability to create a custom workspace, reset your workspace, or even take advantage of other ones that aren't listed immediately up above. So in this video, you had a quick introduction of what Adobe Bridge is all about. Now move on to find out how to take advantage of all the features in Adobe Bridge Creative Cloud.